Ladies and gents, let's get straight into this one. We're going to be going through our Friday night wrap-up, and we're going to be starting with the Dragons and the Seagulls. And wow, how bad are the Manly boys going to be, unfortunately? They really need Trob back, and I don't know how much he's actually going to help, but the Dragons looked a lot better. Yes, it's up against Manly, but to put on 38 points and only concede 2 tries was really cool for their squad. And you know, Benny Hunt had a few issues, you know, sort of in the second half of the game, which obviously hurt his fantasy score, but you know, to show that they still dominated the game was really good to see. And yeah, the game was still dominated fantasy wise by Cherry Evans, who had a try at the end there, but just did everything. 37 tackles for 1 miss. He's got 3 offloads, 310 kick meters. Just does a bit of everything, and back to where he was average from last year. So I think it's not going to matter for him how the team goes. It just means that he has to do a lot of extra work. You know, make a few extra runs, a few more meters. You know, try a few more things and get, you know, the old tackle break and stuff like that to do really well and try and help their team, you know, make something out of nothing kind of thing. And obviously, if they're going to be defending a lot, he's got a lot of tackles in his game too. So really good for Cherry Evans. He's going to be a top line gun no matter how they play. Even with 4 in there, as I thought he'd probably average around that 61, 60-ish. So he's on that at the moment, and he's going to have the lower game against the good teams and a high game against some not so good teams, even though they got smashed. But you go to McCulloch, and he's just clearly going to be a keeper, somewhere averaging around 60 to where he is now, and that's 63.7. When you make that many tackles, you're going to get a couple of turnover tackles. So I think this stat's going to be really important for McCulloch this year. If he's going to be doing some kick meters out of dummy half as well, then you know that's 8 extra points there, and you know somewhere between 50 and 65 is going to be where he's at every week, and you know you're not going to have to worry about him. So if you've got him in your side, I had a few people that wanted to trade him out this week. Like, I can't believe it. Anyway, 71 points, awesome work. Tarek Sims out of nowhere picks up a 64, so we'll leave him. Schuster, the man. If you didn't pick him up, you are not playing this game properly, unfortunately. He's going to go off about 60k this week, which will be annoying for those people that haven't got him, but awesome work. Didn't even have to score a try. 31 tackles, 0 misses, 133 meters. Got the try assist, couple of line breaks in there. Just has a good little bit of footwork and a good pass as well. So really good, and surely he keeps his spot. Because Josefsky was shit again. Like, he dropped the ball a few times, just not great. And we'll find him at the bottom of these point scores. Anyway, Lomax, how good is he? Obviously gets the goal kicks when they do pretty well, but you know, his leap and his gameplay, I just love watching him play. As I said, one of my favorite players to watch, and it's done really well and does a bit of everything. Even still with 3 errors, still gets to 61. So awesome work if you got him. It's nice that he's dropped a little bit in price, and he's going to be someone that will eventually want to target. And if he doesn't get a gig in Origin, then you can probably bring him in around that time, I think, as he'll be a gun centre, especially with the news that we just heard about Bradman Best going down and could be out for an extended period of time. So annoying for him, but good for Lomax. Garrett comes in. Again, he's not an option at 368. Norman still, 58, picks up 56 average over his couple of games, which is cool. And he's someone that, with his price there at 647, he's someone that averages just under 50 usually, and he's not going to be an option just as he's not a clear gun. Trbojevic 48, so he's looking around that 50 average at the moment, which is sort of what we expected. To Power 47, he's 49 minutes, so again, pretty much hitting on his price and his average. Similar with Vaughan. Vaughan and Tapau I see as very similar options. Vaughan got extended minutes in that first game, and then the 2 games since he's been much lower. So interesting, even with the fact that Alvaro and Marin played lower minutes, that Vaughan got lower this week as well. Dufty, a couple of tries for 46. Again, he's going to be around that 40-odd average, which may just fall out of keeper territory in our wing fullbacks. Moses Sully, solid effort with 41, but he's too inconsistent to be a good option. Walker got 40, so if anyone that listened to me and said to hold him an extra week, that he should do a little bit better against a lesser team, then he got that. 180 meters, 5 tackle breaks. I think you got to keep him until Tom Trob comes back. Average of 27.3. He's going to start to make money now with that 40, which will be helpful, and hopefully you can get another week or 2 before Trob comes back, a couple more 30 odds to 40 odds, and make you a bit of cash before moving him on. And he's got that half end centre coverage as well. Alloway, don't need to talk about. Jack Bird, 36. Had a disallowed try there, which could have been cool for him, but a couple of try assists, just doing a little bit of everything, which is cool. 1 turnover tackle, a couple of offloads, 36. You'll be happy with that if you've got him in your side. 2 good games in a row, and you'd be kicking yourself if you got rid of him after that round 1. Phil Mayono played solid, but just in get to do too much this week. 25 tackles, which is a little bit lower than normal, and 100 meters. Sort of solid work. 2 missed tackles, 1 turnover tackle, but 35 and he's 54 is a little bit lower than what we would have hoped, but he's still going to be making some cash there with a 3-round average of 40. So up over 400 next week and doing well for those guys that have brought him in. Trent Marin, some people are thinking about bringing him in this week, but those scores weren't, similar to what someone like Ryan James might be at the moment. A little bit inflated with some really big games, but back to the pack this week, only 56 meters gain, and obviously with them scoring a lot of tries, there just wasn't as much work through the middle. You can see that with Marin and Alvaro. Fair bit of game stoppage, and that hurt him there. So not a sell, but not someone to bring in for sure. Benny Hunt, again, one of those ones that I was saying, he had 2 amazing games getting 75, and he's going to come back to the pack with his scoring, but he obviously had 10 minutes off as well at the end of the game. He had a little bit of a knee issue, so didn't get as involved this game post sort of the first half, and he didn't have much to do other than 1 kick for a try assist, but 5 missed tackles just hurt him a little bit. I wouldn't be stressing about him, but if he's going to be out for a couple of weeks, then that's annoying for anyone who brought him in. Who else we got? Cody Ramsey, Paseka, both guys just did okay. Again, not real big options. Farmasili got 29 minutes for 29, so if you kept him, you'll make a little bit of cash this week. Croker, I think it might be time to sell him now. 29 in 49 minutes. Cade Cuss is not concussed anymore, so he should be okay, and he should be only getting that 50 minutes. And I'd expect scores around this point from here on in, and his money-making potential will slow down. So he's someone that you can move on to Schuster, or if there's any, Sam Walker might be an option now, which we'll talk about shortly. But Kasevsky, not very good. Also got Alvaro, 36 minutes, so he still got the minutes, but just didn't have the runs. Had an error as soon as he came on the field. Less tackles than normal. So just one of those games where his PPM was a little bit lower with them scoring a lot of tries. So not too much to say about him. He'll come back a bit better, but annoying for myself and other people that had to play him and start him this week. And cool. There's that one, guys. We'll move on to the next one. If you're enjoying this, please hit like and subscribe. I really appreciate it. Heading up to that 2,000 subscribers, and I thank you all for staying tuned and hopefully taking a fair bit out of this each and every week. Move on to the Bunnies and the Roosters. Did they not just dominate them again? Anyone else notice that? They were really on song, and you can tell that this is a team that's going to be there at the end of the year. That's for sure. Roosters will work it out for sure, but Bunnies have got their number at the moment, which will be very happy. Those Bunnies supporters will be very happy with that one. But it was a game that was very spread out with some of the scores, and for Takiaho, a really cool one for him. 62 points, got 79 minutes. He literally came off for 1 minute, and then Collins got injured and he had to come back on. So really, really cool for him, and I don't expect that each time. But he's someone that can play that 80 minutes if there is an injury. But for him to get 62 was cool. Only the 1 goal as they didn't play so well, but 53 tackles was awesome. Dan Gagai was in everything. Try assists, 7 tackle breaks. Did it all. He's going to be a keeper in the centres and the wing fullback this year. So if you need someone like that, he will play Origin though. So I'd be thinking about him more in the later part of the year. Cody Walker, I told people to hold him. Probably should have got a bit more with 2 tries, but this is kind of the guy, kind of what he is. Only 5 tackle breaks in those 2 tries, but did awesome, and it's going to be the roller coaster that he is. He'll score a double here and there and get 70 or 80, and then not so much and get 40, but did well. Joey Manu's definitely a keeper. I had someone who wanted to trade him out this week. Don't do it. These are the types of scores you're going to get, the 55 to 35 combo. Crichton didn't have to do too much, unfortunately, and I captained him. 54 was 57 overnight and lost 3 points, the bastard. So 40 tackles he'd be happy with, but only 99 meters gain and 3 tackle breaks. There was a bunch of times he kind of had a little bit of space and they just held on. So I'd be expecting a few more tackle breaks from here on in, and probably a fair few more meters. But the Bunnies, dominated a lot of this game. That's why he had a few more tackles and less sort of attacking stats there. Teddy was on 15 until like 55 minutes. So really good try, and then just got more involved through the end as I'll try and do a bit more. But only 4 tackle breaks is interesting too. I feel like he got a lot more than 4. But anyway, moving along, Cam Murray got 59 minutes, was off for obviously 21 minutes straight there, and a few owners would have been scared, but he still ended up sneaking back 50. So well done to him, and scored just under where he sort of averaged there. Reynolds, Burgess, all guys that did pretty well. Tupanua up to 49. He was 46 overnight, so you're happy with that in a game where he didn't have to do too much. For 44 tackles, you're really happy with. And you can see in the games where they're more attacking, then he's going to do really well. And in these games where they'll defend, he can tackle hard too, which is great for his prospects. And he's going to make plenty more cash. That's 60 average down in 3 games. Crazy. I didn't expect that coming into it, but he's exceeded and improved as a player, which is really cool. Arrow 48, so all right for those who own him, make a tiny bit more cash. Luke Keary unfortunately gets injured and picks up, but luckily he picks up 48 and only misses the last 5 minutes. But it looks like he probably has done his ACL, so he's going to be a trade out for sure. But again, was doing well even in a game where they were getting beat up. 312 kick meters, 23 tackles, awesome work for him. But yeah, he's going to have to be traded out. And Cook, to my liking, sorry guys that own him, but 47. So 2 really low scores. For someone who's priced at 63, 2 low scores for he's only now averaging just under 7 points under his under what he was priced at. So not terrible, but you'd be wanting a few scores higher than that. You can see that there's going to be a bunch of games like this where he has 40 tackles and only a few run meters, and that's when he's going to get these scores under 50, and then he'll have some big games in around that. But annoying if you own him. Latrell, a couple of nice try assists, looks really strong, and is definitely going to be a keeper on the back end, especially with how good these Rabbitohs players are going. But he's up over 100 meters every game so far, which is awesome for him. Lindsey Collins, unfortunately, picks up 38. He lost a bunch of points overnight, and somehow he has 1 tackle break. I don't know what's going on here. I think, did the stats man go to sleep in this game? I'm not sure. I'd say so many more tackle breaks. He almost busted the line like 3 or 4 times. So anyway, annoying if you decide to bring him in. He obviously lost 15 to 20 minutes there, which he would have got up and scored really well. But he looks so strong. Seriously. Great choice if you brought him in. Seriously, he's looking really good. So unlucky with the injury there. But Koloamatangi, 37. That was kind of my issue with him. Priced at 400. He has to get 45 to 50 every week for him to be worth it. And unfortunately, a 37 just stunts his growth a little bit, as he's priced pretty close to that 36. So definitely not a trade out, but you'd like some attacking stats in amongst that. He got 2 turnover tackles and still only got 37. So a little bit annoying, but they didn't have to defend that much. Who else we got? Mansour was there, Hutch, Graham. Graham's had a very slow start to the season, so he's going to be very interesting to see what happens when he gets into sort of 450, 480 in price territory. He did this at the back end of last year where he absolutely killed it at the back end. So something to think about with him is following that back end. Brett Morris, I tried to tell a lot of people to stay away from. Scored a try and got 31 this week, and this is going to be very normal for him. If he didn't get that, he's in the low 20s. So not a trade out by any means, but not someone you were wanting to bring in, I don't think. And same, right now you probably want to panic a little bit. Just that his prices are going to start to, if he gets a couple of those games, prices will start to drop. And everyone was like, yeah, we're going to get him as a cash grab, but he's already gained 116. Lockie Lamb got injured. He's going to be out for a while. Looks like it might be MCL, which could be 4 to 6 weeks. We're not sure. Hopefully it's not too bad, but it looked really bad. It looked like his knee, came apart, or it looked like his ligaments would have all been gone, but hopefully it's not as bad. But he's obviously a trade out now. Average of 32, which is not exactly what we wanted coming to the season. And that's going to be all, guys. Benji Marshall only got 10 minutes, so their benches are very different each week. But there you go. Friday night games are done and dusted. I hope you enjoy Saturday's games. We've had a lot of injury carnage already, and I hope that the rest of the week isn't as bad as once was. But my original team not so good. My alternates are absolutely killing it this week, and the People squad isn't doing too bad either. So let's see how we all go. Let me know how you're going in the comments, and we'll see you in the next one, guys. Have fun out there.